No, it's because it's already a lot of men who's asking that shit and blaming women for all the L's of the black community, so to speak. So he just didn't want to add on to that.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
the way I interpret it, because
That's
we always
convenient.
hear about the single mothers being the problems. We always hear about close your legs. We always hear about what women should be doing in regards to addressing. We always hear about women and accountability or their lack of accountability. So he chose the less talked about argument in today's society. And I think that ultimately the reason why Audacity has come up so much is because it's more pronounced on social media. I think social media just made it more pronounced, whereas before this Audacity was kind of kept behind closed doors, so the men and women didn't talk about it. Like, yeah, so and so may have their boyfriend driving their car because all they offering is dick, but they didn't care because no one noticed because it wasn't on social media. But now all of it's on social media, and that's why another reason why I think we're having this conversation. But Nick, I saw you trying to jump in there, so
No, it's okay. I mean, I was talking, I was listening, because I feel like y'all still talked around it a little bit, I guess. Because this is, hmm. Oh, I gotta breathe in and breathe out, because this conversation is such bullshit across the board. Like, it's so the fact that y'all even entertain the audacity part is interesting to me. I had to look it up where y'all was talking, right? Showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risk, right? Audacious can mean refers to boldness and daring, right? Like being black walking outside, sometimes you got to be audacious to go out there and find a job. Or many of us who are entrepreneurs, I get that audaciousness, could have a bad connotation, and maybe that's the way that he meant it, but fuck him. You know what I'm saying? He'll define how he want to use it for me, right? That's number one. Number two, I felt like the value proposition was skewed because he was painting a picture that said women weren't the issue at all. Gay boys weren't the issue at all. It's only heterosexual black men who were the problem. Cap. Delvin just called out one example of it, right? Because some of these women who aren't the problem seem to still take bold risk fucking with niggas who ain't shit, to the point of even having babies with these niggas. What's more audacious than that? What the fuck are we really talking about? For real, for real. Oh, women aren't the problem at all? I hate people who utter themselves and point the finger at everybody else. Well, he did not everybody else. Because I also wonder sometimes when people in that community have so much to say about others, is it coming from a real place? Right? Is it true observation? Or do you have a belief system already and you're biased because maybe you have an issue with heterosexual men? Sometimes when I hear people from that community talk, I'm like, bro, you know you're a man, right? You know you're a black man, right? Still, I get it. Maybe you put your sexuality in front of the rest of it, but you still a nigga, right? So I get it. So we want to then separate ourselves off of sexuality as if there aren't fucked up gay people, just like there's fucked up heterosexual people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not good gay people. It's like there's good. That shit is cap all the way around. Just even the conversation, black women, get the fuck out the car. This shit looks nuts. You know what I'm saying? To have it on like, at least have another man there, right? A heterosexual man there to balance out the conversation. Because what the fuck does he know? For real, for real. He got third hand information, right? This shit is ridiculous to me because it's not true. And the other thing that's not spoken about is she said, oh, black men don't care about your degrees. No, we do care, but like not to the way that y'all want us to care. The way that y'all value people is funny to me. Y'all think that because you got debt, maybe you got a house that you by yourself that you probably don't even really need for real, but because somehow it makes you feel better about yourself. Yeah, you got your degree, but you also drowning in fucking debt. You ain't got nobody in the crib to love on you and be there with you, but you think because you got material shit that you're more valuable than a man who doesn't have those things? There's no value in men beyond their purse, for real, for real. So when he says men only show up with audacity, what he's saying is most of y'all niggas ain't shit. Is he just talking about money? Is he talking about character? You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about the issues in the black community, black men and black women are the issue, but he wouldn't know that because he's not in a heteronormative relationship, right? He's too busy. He sounds like one of the white people who watch a bunch of clips and form their entire opinion around a small segment of loud people, right? Without taking the time to pause and say, wait a minute, let me make sure I think this through before I say something. The fuck out of here. This shit don't make no sense to me. And it's funny, SNL, because, okay, cool, yes, he would. What point does he fucking have? For real, for real. What point? Because you can point to all sides and say, oh, this person is this person is that. Okay, he got a point in that way. But if you're talking about the larger point that he was making, that, oh, only heterosexual black men are the problem, nigga, fuck you. Niggas like you are part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you're perpetuating the bullshit and you're not even a part of it. It's one thing. You know what I'm saying? If you had to deal with some of the fucking consequences for real, when you throw these little grenades out there, you know what I'm saying, lip wristed it all, right? It's cool then, right? And you want to talk about who's part of the fucking problem. That's part of the problem. Too many of y'all niggas in the group chat, right? And lastly, I'm gonna say it's to black women. Y'all be letting these niggas, some of these niggas who want to take your spot, be in your ear, getting you to turn on the niggas you need to be turning towards in the first fucking place. And the shit is wild to me. Because when we had this alphabet conversation, like we did a couple of episodes, y'all got the threat then, right? When it was a little closer to home. But this one is cool. Y'all want to ride with it. Because somebody is saying something you think is valid. It's not fucking valid. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're only judging people, maybe I can see that. But when we break down the numbers that you was talking about, black women in the whole aren't making more than black men. Black women on the whole are more in debt than black men. What the fuck are we talking about? And why the fuck is he even talking in the first fucking place? Talk about your own shit. Fix your own shit. Because if we start to look underneath, there's more shit going on in every fucking community. So clean your own fucking house first, man. You know what I'm saying? Before you bring your mouth over here. Any fucking questions?
Actually, I did have a question for you, sir, and I know that was rhetorical, but didn't you say y'all knew him? Wait, didn't y'all say y'all knew him? So if y'all knew him at one point,
No,
was he heterosexual or?
No. No, I ain't say we knew him. I said we went to the same school around the same period.
Listen,
Okay.
I've seen him.
That
Listen,
school had 6 people with my same name.
let me be clear, right? Let me be clear. I let people live and let live. What you won't see Nick do is talk about shit Nick don't know. You know what I'm saying? I let people do their things because I understand there's nuances sometimes that maybe if I'm thinking about it from my perspective, that maybe I'm gonna talk out of turn. So I respect everybody, let people do what they do. I knew the brother a little bit, maybe saw him around campus or whatever, didn't, chop it up or nothing. But when I saw him later on, I was happy for him. It was all good, it's all love. I have no issues with the brother in particular or the sister, depending on how he identifies. But what I'm saying is though, when you get on platforms and you talk about things that I think are limited to not only your experiences, but also could be detrimental, and you're having a conversation about what's detrimental about the Black community, it's like Exhibit A, sir. You know what I'm saying? It's Exhibit A. Because the truth is the other thing is when y'all niggas do that, and y'all absolve Black women of any accountability whatsoever, you don't think that contributes to the problem at all? Oh, no, girl, you ain't the problem at all. You did everything right. It's never you. It's always them. He literally said that. So maybe that's why some of them go to some of them, because they get that type of feedback. But do you think that type of feedback is conducive to a self-reflection or accountability or growth in an interdependent relationship when it requires both people to be somewhat accountable? The fuck are y'all talking about? The shit is dangerous, and I barely use that word. Because if we're relationship centered, we gotta be careful of not only domestic, but foreign dangers and shit. And here's one which I don't know which one he is, but it's like he's both at the same damn time, and I'm confused.
Alrighty then.
Enemies foreign domestic.
With that being said,
so
with that being said, one thing that I will say is that I do agree that this type of rhetoric is dangerous. That's why I talked about the overgeneralization. I actually didn't ping on the total absolution or absolving of women of any responsibility in this particular clip, but it could be because I focus on what he actually said pertaining to like the reasons, the generalizations and whatnot. But either way it goes, I do concur that this is, when we talk about the L's of the community, is a men and women issue versus it's just all men or it's just all women. So that is something to say. With speaking of men in the conversation, and that's the other thing I want to say. I also agree that she technically should have had a heterosexual male in the room while she was having that conversation about the heterosexual community, simply because while he was making his observations, it would have been good to have somebody in that community, in the community that he was speaking of, talk about it as well.